Hello everyone, welcome back. We are doing another ink review today, and today I've got one it's by a Diamine. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This is from their Inkvent, which is sort of like an advent calendar, but it's for ink. It's the blue edition. I have never purchased one of their advent calendars before because money is a thing. So I have never purchased one. However, from what I understand, there are different inks you can get on different days. So it's just like an advent calendar. Most or all of the boxes are ink. And like I said, I don't know for sure. I've never had one, but I have seen other people review them or talk about them, and it's like a fun advent calendar where you can try different colors. This one we are trying is called Gold Star. It's a very pretty color. And these bottles are super special, so I really like these bottles. Even if they don't have ink in them, I bought some empties just so I could use them to display other inks because I love how they look. So you'll see what I'm talking about. This is one of the reasons why fountain pens and fountain pen ink, the whole thing is just fun. And you'll see what I mean in a moment here. So this has a really pretty decoration on the box. Here is the Inkvent. Oh, and the blue edition, what I was saying is I think each different Inkvent calendar is a different color. So might be like blue edition, it may be purple edition or whatever, I don't know. Again, I've never purchased one, but I would like to someday. And this says, this was originally created for the first ever Inkvent calendar. This collection of 25 inks now joins our range of full-size bottles. Okay, so they do have a different ink for each day. So that's really cool. See, perfect for use with fountain pens, brushes, and nibs. So again, fountain pen ink is water-based. You don't want to put calligraphy ink or other types of inks in your fountain pen because you'll ruin it. So this is safe for fountain pens. That's how the bottom looks. All right, so let's open this. And I store my inks in their original boxes typically because if you get sunlight or light shining on them, it can deteriorate the ink a little bit. Sometimes I believe the inks can fade. But anyways, it's a pretty good sized bottle too. So here is what it looks like in the box. It's got little pamphlets and things like that, which we'll leave in there for now, but in a second I'll show you this bottle. And when I saw these, I thought, oh, I have to get one. Look how cool this bottle looks. It's got little feet that it stands on. It looks like, what this looks like to me is it looks like somebody splashed some ink and then it like froze in time. It looks so cool. And each one of these bottles looks a little bit different because I think they're made like individually. It's not like just the way that, or however it is that they're made. The bottles are never all perfectly identical. So on the inside where you can see the ink kind of going down into the legs of the bottle, sometimes that looks a little bit different. And yeah. So anyways, like I said, I even purchased empty ones because I thought these were so cool. If I had ink that didn't have a nice bottle or something, I could put it in here just so I could have it on display. In fact, I have one right here. This is Iron Gall ink that I put in here because I didn't have a special bottle for it. So that's that. Anyways, and we'll do a review of Iron Gall someday because that's a really cool ink too. Probably not good for fountain pens, but for dip pens and stuff. Anyhow, okay, so this one is Gold Star. It's a very pretty shimmery gold. And if you are new here, what I do is I test these inks on a variety of different types of paper. We use regular old copy paper, HP 32, which is a type of copy paper, but it's a little higher quality and it shows off the properties of the ink a little bit better. And this, which is Tomo River paper, comes in a packet like this. You can get it from Amazon. I have links down below for where you can use my Amazon links if you want. It's just like an affiliate link. So it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it gives me a little bit of a kickback if you buy something from Amazon using my link. Anyways, and these are cut down to size so I'm not wasting, because the Tomo River paper is more expensive, so I try to conserve that a little bit. So the reason I do this is because you might not have fancy paper to write on. You might only have copy paper, or maybe you have just like a regular old journal and you want to know if this ink is going to be worth using on your paper, because some of the inks have special properties, and to really see the properties of the ink you do need to use special paper, but others don't need that. And you can see some examples of that in the previous videos that I've done of some other inks where they might have performed differently on different papers. Okay, so we're going to set this down. And then again, because it's got shimmers, see each time it sinks to the bottom, you want to shake this in between uses. And I'm going to use a dip pen because I don't want to fill a fountain pen and then have to clean it, and it's like a waste. So open this carefully. That looks really pretty. Hoping you can see that. Okay, so I'm going to do some scribbles. This paper feels like it's crooked. There we go. And this is just the regular copy paper. Regular, cheap, whatever you got in your printer. And even so, it still looks really cool. I'm also trying to do the first few reviews. I've been trying to do different colors so that, you know, I'm not doing a whole bunch of like blue inks back to back, for example. So hopefully you're getting a good look at some different colors this way. Okay, and this was Gold Star. And this is, I'm going to make sure I spell the name correct, by Diamine. And I apologize again if I'm pronouncing these things incorrectly. I probably will for a lot of things, just because I don't know how to pronounce them. And sometimes I find that nobody does. So I'll see different people pronouncing things different ways. So I decided I wasn't going to stress about that. So yes, if you are new to fountain pens and fountain pen ink, this is a good place for you, because I kind of don't know what I'm doing either, and we can all learn together. Alright, so that is that one. I'm going to put the cap back on here so I don't spill it. And another reason I do these is because if you look at this bottle, this almost looks red or orange. I don't know if you've ever noticed, if you get like food coloring, like those cheap little food colorings you can get at the grocery store, the yellow looks almost like an orangey red in the bottle, but it's because it's so concentrated. And I think that's maybe what's causing this. It has like this really cool like orangish glow to it, and it just looks like, in the bottle, it just looks like swirling lava or something. It's really pretty. But on the paper, it's definitely matches its name, Gold Star. It's definitely gold and shimmery. And I'm going to see if the camera will pick this up. Yep. On these little squiggles here, the blotches, you can see the beautiful shimmer that it's got. And as this dries, and at the end, I'll show this under the light and we'll see what it looks like. Because sometimes the camera just doesn't pick up what I'm seeing in real life. It's, of course, never does that justice. So, but it's very pretty. And so now you'll know that if you only have basic normal paper, that this will look really nice. So this is a really good ink if you want to do like Christmas cards in like a gold color or something, and you want to put it in your fountain pen. Maybe you've got a fountain pen that has a fancy nib or something on there. Or if you want to write a letter to somebody and you don't have fancy paper, this will totally work. It's very shiny, very pretty. So we'll try it on that HP32 paper, and this way we can also compare how the inks look on the different papers together. Okay, I'll set that here. Cover this. And the reason I try to remember to cover this is I don't want like dust and particles falling in it. Okay. And already this feels smoother. This HP32, even though it's just copy paper, it feels so smooth when you write with it. It's a really good in-between between copy paper and like the Tomo River or whatever. Yeah, this is a really pretty gold. It's nice and bright. And this is HP 32. I will do a little bit more squiggling here to use up some of that ink. We do some There we go. We'll give that a minute to dry as well. So if there are any colors that you want to see, maybe I haven't done, you know, a red or a orange or something, and you want to see it, let me know, and I will have, if I have an ink. I think I have an ink in all the colors now, but if you want to see it, let me know. And also, if there's a special, or a specific like brand or you know, color that you want to see by a specific brand, let me know, and if I have it, we will definitely review it. Yeah, this looks so pretty. This is real shimmery, and what's nice about this one, it has some shading. So I don't know if the camera is going to pick this up at all, but on these, like this big splotch here around the edges, the yellow is darker, and so it makes this really pretty shading effect that comes out on the HP32. I don't think, yeah, it doesn't have that effect on the copy paper. So see, on the copy paper, they're both shimmery, but on this copy paper, the color looks basically flat, like it's the same in the middle and the edges, but on here, the edges are darkening. Do you see that? It's a beautiful, like, shading effect that it has. So I love that effect on ink. That's such a, it looks so pretty. So yeah, if you have a nicer paper, like even just HP32, which is just a slightly better copy paper, it will really show off the properties of the ink much better than regular copy paper. However, the regular copy paper will still give you a really pretty gold shimmery ink. So that's why we do these tests, because, you know, if you bought this ink for that special characteristic, then, you know, you would want to use a nicer paper. Now you know that if you want to use this ink and get that very specific result, then you will need to use something other than plain copy paper. But if all you're looking for is a shimmery gold color, it'll totally work on, it looks like, well, we know for sure, at least the copy papers, but I'm guessing it'll work on any normal paper that you could write on. Anyway, so I'm going to shake this up again. This is the Tomo River paper. Just more squiggles. And some more scribbles here. And if you guys are enjoying these reviews, and if you want to see more of them, if you don't mind just liking this video and subscribing, that really helps me out and lets YouTube know that these videos are worth watching. This is Gold Star, Diamine. This is Tomo River paper. I will do some more scribbles down here. I'm going to try something. See if this shows off that shading. I'm hoping, I'm pretty sure that it's going to show the shading on this paper, but just in case, I want to try a couple different things. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a minute and let that do its thing and dry. So normally when you're writing with a fountain pen, you're not going to have to sit here for 5 minutes and wait for it to dry. The reason I'm doing that is because we're putting down so much ink in a small space, like in these like scribbly spots. Oh, I forgot to do my circle. I gotta do this. Gotta do it all exact. And I didn't do it on the other paper either. Tisk tisk. Okay. We have to be consistent. So let's put it here. Anyway, so normally like that circle, I just put down a ton of ink. Normally you would not do that on a letter that you were writing or something, or a journal entry. You know, you would be writing like normal, with like a pen or whatever. So it won't take this long to dry. This is highly exaggerated because of what we're doing, but that's also why I do like the scribbles and stuff at the top, so you can see what normal handwriting would look like as well. I find that some inks, when you're writing with them, maybe their properties don't really show that much, but when you do the big blotches that they do, and I want to see, is the ink consistent? Because you know, the blotches having really pretty properties is great if you're painting or something, but it's not so great if you're just writing a letter and you want to see the cool effects, right? So, okay, so that little blotch there is nowhere near dry. However, this one in the middle is pretty well dry now. and you can see the shading, or you could if I moved it closer, around the edges. It's like the edges are dark, almost like it's getting toasted on the edges. And on these little lines I made, it's more of like a paler yellow here and then like a deep gold. It's like an ombre effect almost. It gets darker. And here on the edges you can see it's darkening. So this is, and it still has all the beautiful shimmers and everything. So again, I'm going to set this aside and let it continue drying. We'll look at them all together. But I want to do this ink swatch because I want to give it time to dry. So let's do that real quick, and then we can look at everything all together and compare them. So this is a beautiful color. I don't use a lot of yellow, but this is a beautiful, this is because of the shading and the sparkles and everything, this is definitely worth using, especially if you're doing like, you know, Christmas cards or, you know, doing something special, some kind of like artwork or something. Okay. Let's put this around. And this flows so nicely when you write with it. It feels really good to write with. It's not a scratchy ink at all. Okay, there we go. Fill that in. All right. And this company, this Diamine, if I'm saying it correctly, they have a lot of ink, a lot of them. There are so many. And I have never had a problem with any of them. So we have more coming in the future if this continues. You'll get to see all those as well, hopefully. Oh, yeah, we got to write the name. And anyway, let me shake it, I guess. All of their inks seem to really flow nicely in the pens, and when you write with them, they just, they're relatively inexpensive compared to, you know, some other, like, you know, comparatively fancy inks. They're not super overpriced or anything weird. So if you see a color you like, they're definitely worth investing in. All right, so this is Gold Star by Diamine, and this is from their Inkvent calendar. Inkvent. What year was that? Oh, it just says first ever. It had the year. It had to. Well, maybe it's on the literature. More than likely it said it and I just read right over the top of it and didn't see it. Okay. It does not have it on there. That's a little cardboard insert. Okay, so 1864. That's not the right year. Oh, in 2019. There we go. 2019. Okay. Jeez. I knew I'd find it if I kept looking. This little droplet should be a star shape. You can see how that'd be like a really pretty like gold star on top of a Christmas tree. Yes, it's very, very pretty. I'll set that aside. And we'll get this to dry. And it's really shimmery. Oh my goodness. I don't know if it's gonna pick it up, but, and it's drying pretty quick. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm starting to see around the edges, I'm starting to see that shading I was telling you about, like right around here. See how it's darkening? Kind of like the edges of a marshmallow toasting a little bit. Oh, it's so pretty. It's such a neat effect. So here are the swatches that we made. So this little circle here is not quite dry. And like I've said before, this normally, like the writing is like, this is all dry up here. It's just because I laid down more ink than what you would normally, just to see what the properties were like. So in normal writing, it's not like this. It's only this way because I'm laying down so much ink for the test. Okay, I don't think we're going to get that to dry anytime soon. It's going to take a few minutes. this one, this is kind of cool. So I think this is mostly dry, but I'm not going to touch it to test. But if you can see, let me check the camera and see if it's staying in focus. Okay, good. So around the edges here, you see that darken color. It's like a little darker on the edges. And see how shiny that is? That darkening is so pretty, the shading color. And you can see, I'm looking at these like hash marks here. See how pretty that is? It's super sparkly. And on the writing, let me get the light because I think we'll get a better view with the light. So, all right, let's see. Yeah, see, look at that. Look how the writing, it just glows. It is so pretty. And then that little splotch down there. So this is just the HP 32 paper. So you can get all these really pretty effects with just a slightly better copy paper. And then let me get the regular copy paper. So this is still gorgeous. See the writing? It's still got the pretty shimmers in it. All the blotches have the pretty shimmers. This would still make an awesome like gold color to write Christmas cards or whatever. It's just not going to have that shading effect. That's the only thing you lose with the cheap paper. And then this one's a Tomoe River paper. I'm going to pick this up so I have something supporting it from behind. But see how much more shimmer there is, and the shading is so dramatic by, you know, compared. And then, sorry, I'm trying to get this to, and those little lines that I made, you can see at the bottom how they're like a lighter color and they get darker as they go up. It's from that really pretty shading effect. So anyways, this would be beautiful in a pen. And I know we wanted to look at them all together at the end. So copy paper, HP 32, and Tomoe River in the middle. I mean, on the right. So copy paper, HP 32, Tomoe River. And kind of see the difference a little bit, how they are side by side. They're all very, very pretty. So any of these would be a good choice for this ink if you're just looking for something pretty to write with. And then this is the ink splotch there. You see how pretty that shimmer is? And then the writing down at the bottom with the name. It's really pretty. So this is a very shimmery, very pretty ink as I just toss it. All right. Let's get this back under control here. All right, and you can see on the right-hand side, especially where it darkens around the edge. It's doing it around the whole thing, but it seems to have it really showing that the shading property on the right-hand side. But this is so pretty. So yes, this is definitely, you know, not only is the ink pretty, but the bottle is pretty. And, you know, if you have the money to spend on an Inkvent calendar, I suggest trying them because they have a whole bunch of ink in there. And you could try a whole bunch of different inks by this company. So, again, this is a really good one. I also have links for these. I don't think I have a link for the specific color, but I do have links down below. On Amazon, you can actually get this ink, you can actually get these different inks on Amazon by this company, so the Diamine inks. I'm just going to put this back in the box real quick. So if you are looking for a good holiday ink or something really shimmery and different, this is a really good one. And there's a lot of ink in here. This is going to last you a long time. And then when it's empty, you've got that beautiful bottle to display with something else. You could put whatever you want in it. You could put glitter water in it and just shake it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, I will be coming back soon with another video. And oh, and before I forget, we were going to look at the Lord of the Rings. If you didn't see it in my last video, we did the Lord of the Rings ink, and this is finally dry. So we can look at how that is under the light. This is their Dawning Silver. It's very, very shimmery, a beautiful cool gray with bluish silvery shimmers. Anyways, it's gorgeous. So that's another one. In fact, you can have silver and gold together. Ha 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 ha. So another good idea for Christmas. So anyway, I will be back again soon with another color to review, another ink. Let me know what else you'd like to see. If you want to see special ink colors or brands or different, maybe if I happen to have any of them, different fountain pen accessories. I have a few. So anyway, just let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.